Now, oh, there's Brittni. She's almost logged on. Sorry, you guys. I started the podcast too early. So, but Brittni's logging on right now, and Ansleigh will be joining us in a minute. I was going to talk about the latest. There's an article just released this weekend. USA Cycling has had another man win the women's category. Surprise, surprise. I've done videos about USA Cycling and changing their rules, and they still haven't done anything yet. I know they released something saying that they're going to ask you to prove that you're transitioned via a question. Like, you mark the box on the paper, yes, I'm socially transitioned. They're still not testing for drugs or anything. And it needs to stop. USA Cycling, get on it. Hey, Brittni, can you see me?
Yep, I can see you.
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good. Just getting to work. We had somebody fall out, so I might have to be in rooms today and not do the laundry.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Are you at a gym as well?
No, I'm at. Well, we do have a gym here, but I work at the Hampton Inn.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Working on a Sunday. That's brave.
They're doing the Marshall Marathon today, so we had a lot of people staying for that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Are there any trans athletes competing in it that you know of?
Not that I know of. There's not a lot of us around here. I'm probably one of the only ones I know of that actually like competes and stuff. There's this other girl. She's also from the local scene, but she does like wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Like WWE type wrestling. She's got a belt in it.
Hey y'all.
Hey.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm trying to figure out my audio because I can't hear y'all, but I know my mic is working.
Yeah, we can hear you. Oh,
I'm so new to all of this, y'all.
Yeah, it's hard. Brittni, can you still hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I thought you went silent there for a second. I
literally can't hear anything from you guys.
Oh no. I'm checking the YouTube stream right now just to make sure it's going.
I'm gonna hop out and then hop back in and see if it fixes it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's see. Well, if I turn it sideways, then I'll be sideways.
And so, also too, if there's any questions that come up and, you know, if you're not comfortable answering them, just say, I don't know, and we can move on. Totally. It's not a big deal either way. Okay.
All right. I tried to get that WWE trans woman to fight me, but I just wanted to do like an exhibition, but she's like, I don't actually fight. I was like, okay, that's fine.
Which one was that?
Oh, what's her name? Kendall. Her name's Kendall.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one. Is she?
She's just kind of local. But she holds like one of the local belts around here. Just in it's like I said, it's like WWE wrestling.
Oh. So those people are very athletic though. Like seriously.
Yeah.
Those guys and girls.
It might be scripted, but they're doing like real stuff. Like it. Yeah, it's Brittni, bitch. I'm trying to hide back here in the break room.
I need to check my YouTube page to see if it's putting all three of us on. Oh, there's
There we
oh,
go.
there you are. Okay.
Yay.
Nice
Okay, I'm
shirt.
finally
Where'd you
here.
get that shirt?
Oh goodness, I'm like
Can
still
you-
trying to figure out all of this social media, like getting on podcasts and stuff. So we were like,
Oh,
is it Zoom? Is it StreamYard? What's going on?
I know. And right now I'm looking at my YouTube stream and it doesn't show that. Oh, there we go. Okay, now we're all three on. Okay, you guys. So sorry for the rough start, everybody listening out there in YouTube land. Okay, everybody's ready?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, we're good.
Okay, cool. All right. So I wanted to ask Ansleigh, so when how long do you want your career to go, as far as, are you going to stay in the BJJ scene as long as your body will allow you to?
Yeah, absolutely. And once I get my black belt, I'm kind of going to venture back into MMA again. The only reason I haven't really gone back is I had a back surgery last October, so I'm just still trying to get back into the swing of things.
Recovery. And then Brittni, when did you get into BJJ and or MMA? Like,
BJJ kind of started for me way back in like maybe 2010, maybe. Well, no, it would have been 9. I started at Ground Zero in 2009, and it was really just because I knew I was going into the Army and I wanted to have like a leg up in the combatives department.
sure.
I was gonna be a part of it. So I took a few months of that, and that really got me ready. Like I actually tapped out my drill sergeant. He wasn't ready. I got in trouble for that, but so that's when it started. And when I came back, I kind of poked around and did a little bit here and there. But I really got back into it more. Like I did a couple competitions, and then I started off in the ski industry for like 5 years. And when I came back, that's when I really got into competing, and it's kind of gone from there.
That's cool. So,
Yeah.
and then Ansleigh, like, what motivated you, or what got you turned on to BJJ in the very first place? Like, where did you learn about it? How did you see it first?
So, like, when I was real young, they used to have like these redneck backyard fights, and like my mom took me to it. And by the time I was like 8 years old, I'm like, can I do it? And back then, I was just like, I'll even fight a boy. But when you're 8, it doesn't make much of a difference.
Yeah, don't say that too loud. We don't want to give these guys any
No.
traction.
Like,
I'm
they're
just-
8. They're
They
8.
do with the kids a lot, because there's really not a lot.
Well,
Right.
a lot of the activists are saying that there's literally no reason that they can't do co-ed mixed, sports with the under prepubescent kids.
Yeah.
And I have a 21-year-old daughter. I took her to soccer every day. And
Right.
if you watch the little boys soccer team versus the little girls, and I use it as the ladybugs versus, the spiders, the spiders are always going to beat the ladybugs.
Yeah.
And that's even at like 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. The boy has just that little bit of more athleticism. And,
Right.
as you guys both know, I'm so passionate about protecting women's sports. And Brittni, this is our first time meeting, so I'm assuming you're on that,
Yeah.
side
yeah.
of things as well. So
I was on that train for a while.
yeah, I totally appreciate that. And I just, watching Ansleigh compete against that trans male, I hate misgendering them, but to me, respect.
I do too. Like, it hurts me too, because like I don't like. There's so many different sides to it, and like I know I'm not supposed to please everyone, but I'm a people pleaser. So I'm like, I don't want to hurt anyone. And they're like, you outed this trans person. I'm like, I didn't out them. They got on the podium with a fucking trans flag.
Yeah.
Like, we're not. What do you think this is?
Brittni, were you at that competition?
Yeah, because
So
I was kind of like their watchdog or whatever, and I was
Okay.
like, because I'm pissed off of them just sneaking in the divisions, and well, it's not both of them; it's just the one that I went against.
Was that the Griffith person?
She actually tried to notify Naga, and Naga dropped the fucking ball.
Mm.
yeah.
So they were trying to give the choice. Carissa was,
Okay.
but Naga fucked up, and they didn't read their emails, and they didn't give that girl any courtesy until they were mat side about to compete. And you don't want to just sit there and be like, no, I don't want to compete against this person. You're gonna
And
look like a pussy.
that was Jaden that had to compete against the Carissa.
No. Me and Jaden both went against Cordelia, but Carissa ended up going against this girl named Danielle and what's her name? Audrey. Audrey doesn't mind competing against them, which is her choice, which is literally all we're asking for.
Mm-hmm. Just to be informed of it. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. And
And
that's
then
literally it.
Brittni, back to you. You said you were not at that meet, or were you?
No, but I've competed in plenty, and I've never seen it. I've never seen it happen necessarily. Like people, I was. I mean, I've never tried to hide, who I am, and
Right.
so I mean, at first, like, when I went to go do the first West Virginia state tournament. They almost put me in the women's division, and like I had to go when I found out. I had to go, and I was like, "Look, yeah, no, don't put me in that." It was a mistake.
Really?
'Cause I tried to tell them at the booth when I signed my paperwork and stuff, and it was just so it happened. But it almost happened. But I went and told them, and like they're like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah," and I ended up winning gold in both my divisions, in gi and no gi.
Yeah.
And that was against biological males, right?
Yeah, and the absolute. I got the gold in absolute.
Because Brittany's a badass.
There you go. Hell yeah. And
Scared of the like 250 pounds, but I got behind him and I just kind of suplexed him to the mat and got an arm bar on him.
that is so cool. So yeah, that's good. That the organization, just to clarify for everybody, was gonna put Brittni in the women's division, and Brittni on her own, said, "Hey, let's move me to the men's. I don't need to be competing against the women," and that's respectful, right? So that's what we want all trans athletes to do. I used to kickbox. I've rolled jiu-jitsu before, just so you guys know. I kind of know what you're dealing with, but I have rolled with women in the gym. I used to train at 303 Academy with Dwayne Bain Ludwig way back in the day. So that's why I have a crooked nose, 3 deviated septums, and the surgery still hasn't fixed. My nose is still crooked because I block punches really good with my face. I'm not kidding about that. So
We've all been there.
you're right. So, but because of my surgeries and my medical plates in my body, I could never do BJJ. So I respect that you guys do that. It's super tough. I've rolled with coaches before, and the minute they put a choke on my neck, I tap immediately. So I am definitely not cut out for that. So props to both of you for doing that sport. It's
Thank
super
you.
tough. What do you guys think, either one, is the shelf life for a BJJ athlete compared to like a football athlete or, a full-on boxer? They have windows from 8 to 10 years.
So it's weird because we have masters divisions. So like we see people that are like 70 and 80 years old rolling around competing.
We had one guy. He used to do a lot of judo, and he came into that West Virginia tournament that I got the golds at. He came in at the end, and this kid Nick, this blue belt Nick from my gym, was the only one that was willing to go with him. And the guy didn't even have a. He just took his shirt off and rolled in khakis.
Oh wow.
That's the thing I've ever seen.
That's
So
crazy.
Awesome.
yeah. So yeah, like she was saying, we have a much more extensive shelf life for being able to stay in the sport competitively, I think.
I think it's
Yeah,
because we're all obsessive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
plus the no contact thing. I mean, you guys slam each other down, I know that, but the no contact to the face and the head trauma, it's not there. So
Yeah.
but I want to oh, where was I going to go with that? Touch back to what you were saying about competing with, let's see, and what's going to keep you motivated. And I know you said from a young age, Ansleigh, like what drives you every day, and is this trans inclusion thing, would that deter you?
Nah, I'm always gonna train, but like coming in here and coaching people and getting them better makes me better. And like honestly, every day I'm just trying to be a better person every day and learn everyone's side of the story of this, because I don't want anyone to feel left out or anything. That's why me and Brittni work so close together to like create World Trans Fight League.
Yeah.
Is that is that happening? You guys are doing
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
That's something that's in the cards. We're just getting promotional stuff together right now, as it were. We've got a solid. We had a little bit of a Zoom meeting a while back, and we had a solid like 12 people so far that are kind of committed to, if we get a show started, like we're all interested in being a part of it. So it's just
you're talking about actual trans athletes that want to compete. You have 12 of them lined up?
At sort of, and the girls that are in question with this jiu-jitsu tournament issue were also in our meeting. So perhaps I'll get a chance to settle the score, as it were.
With Carissa or the other one?
We went ahead and invited we went ahead and invited everybody that's kind of in the community that we could get a hold of, and we were able to get them in the Zoom meeting. They didn't have much to say, but they said that they would, be interested in being a part of the promotion. So we'll see what happens with that.
That's so refreshing to hear, because I don't know how up to date you guys are with like the whole landscape of what we're dealing with and these trans athletes invading women's sports. So UCI cycling, there's USA cycling, UCI cycling, opened up that transgender open category, and nobody showed up, nobody signed up.
Yeah, of course.
I once competed in an open snowboard category. It was pretty fun. I just wanted to get out there and show people, my skill set. Like, I was the only one in my division, because I mean, there aren't any other trans athletes that were signed up. It was up in Vermont, but I still had fun. I showed up.
You made the effort, and you set an example, right? So
that's a win to me, like, honestly.
Totally. I totally agree. So yeah, I mean, I preach this. People that know my channel are probably sick of me saying it, but yeah, I compete in mountain bike racing, road racing, and it's always in the men's division. It's not a problem. But I wanted to touch back what you said earlier, Ansleigh. I know you're trying to be respectful of other trans people, and I dealt with this with Riley Gaines for when she first came out and started saying this is wrong and we need to stop this. People were saying she's transphobic and she's a bigot, and she struggled mentally. So I wanted to, tell you, I know it's hard not to misgender these athletes when they're bad naming you and coming after you online. They did it to Riley, and she did her best to just either address them by their name or use the stupid they or them pronoun, which
is what I've been doing with the they, them, and I'm like,
yeah,
and then people still get mad at me for they. Like, the right side is just like, you're still giving them an edge. I'm like, y'all.
Yeah, I know.
Just let me be me and let me do my thing.
And I'm so happy that you're not afraid to do that. I commend you so much, because Riley and I both have a lot of women who reach out to us. Me, not daily, but at least once a month, I've got 2 or 3 girls asking, how do I come to my coaches? How do I tell my, sports organization this is happening and I'm not okay with it? And they're deathly afraid. I know one of the girls from the Wyoming chapter issue. Were you familiar with that Kappa deal?
I think I like briefly saw some stuff on it, but I didn't like get super deep into it.
Yeah, so the Wyoming chapter of Kappa College was trying to tell this trans person to get out of their dorm, and I'm going to say he because he never presented as a female. He wouldn't. It went to court, and then the judge said, well, the girls wouldn't put their name. This is where I'm going with this. The girls wouldn't sign their names on the legal document saying we want this person to be removed from our house. And the judge said, if you guys don't put your actual physical names and addresses on here, I won't hear the case. So that's what we're trying to fight. Yeah, it's very frustrating. So these girls were afraid of getting doxxed and shamed and people coming after you. Have you gotten lots of hate mail, I'm sure?
The first one, honestly, I think they're freaking hilarious because I'm like, come on now. Like, y'all aren't going to come do anything to me. Like, you're really going to come to Georgia where we have open carry. You don't have to have a license or anything. And I'm an MMA fighter and a world archery champion. Like, it's the worst idea in the world.
Yeah, we're open carry here in Nevada too. So, but yeah, it's just, they get so passionate and I'm very passionate as well. So I have no problem, telling people if they want to come talk to me, come talk to me. But
right, I definitely found some level-headed people. Like, they were mad at first and like they just didn't get my point of view, which I don't see how you couldn't. But
really, so you've changed a mind? Like,
not that I've changed their mind, but they kind of understand where I'm coming from and I understand where they're coming from. Okay. So like, I think my biggest thing here is just like showing that people are going to have different opinions regardless, but it's okay to have different opinions and still have a civil conversation without name calling or just throwing the word bigot out there when you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh, that's so good. See, you're more patient than I am. There's a person who posted your match on Twitter, and I got in so many heated arguments on that thread.
Is it Ari's?
Yeah, Ari Jenner. So
Riley immediately messaged me and was like, Ari is the worst.
Who said that?
Riley.
Yeah, she's a pain, and I'm trans, and I hate that person. Like, I won't even say woman because you're
just a douchebag human.
She's legit trans, but just mind-numbingly how bad she promotes this hatred towards the trans community, but she doesn't see it. So, but again, I wanted to just say thanks. You're an amazing athlete. You're an amazing, kind person. I don't care what anybody tells you. Don't believe them.
As long as I have y'all's support, like, it really means so much. Like, it's been hard. Like, I have social anxiety as is. Like, even on a normal daily life, like, I was just recently coming off my anxiety, depression meds, and then all this happened, and now I wake up every morning just dry heaving because I have anxiety from all the freaking notifications.
Yes. That's cool. Hey, and then I wanted to ask you in the match, so you went against not Clarissa, but the other one. Or Clarissa? Cordelia. And I could see in the video visibly angry about the no tap thing on the second one. But
like, we've all had the ref say that we tapped and we didn't tap. I'm pretty sure.
Sure.
I know it happened to me a few times. You gotta have some composure and you gotta swallow your pride a little bit and just be like, all right.
And the fact that they kind of lash out at me is the problem because I didn't stop the fight. Like, I didn't even let up on the choke until the ref told me to stop. And then you're gonna act like a bitch to me and then rip your hand away from my dad.
Yeah, that's messed up.
That was just that was just really. I just couldn't believe like her coach taught her that way. Like,
yo, can you believe people online are saying that she didn't throw a tantrum?
She looked
That
pretty.
was
You could see she was visibly upset after the match, but
People are
want
like, the only tantrum being thrown is you making this post.
about
What?
you.
Yes.
I know. Yeah, they're evil. Social media is evil. But I wanted to say or ask, like, so when you first walked on the mat and then you realized this is a man, but you had said you didn't realize it was a biological male until you grabbed him, right?
I didn't realize. I thought it was just a strong old lady. Like,
Yeah.
I literally, like, I didn't know we have, like, but we're still very confused. Me and my whole team super confused. I'm like, this it just doesn't fucking seem right.
Right.
So we go on the Instagram and in their tag photos in 2020, so they haven't been transitioning that long because they were still a man in 2020 October. So the end of 2020. So it's not been that fucking long.
Yeah. Sounds
And
like it
like
was
they hadn't even started then. Like no start, like full married as a man. It's crazy.
and that's going to lead me to my next question now. As far as NAGA goes, were they testing? And Brittni, are you tested in your division? Like for
within the West Virginia State Athletic Commission, I'll be out later in a second. No, we don't. Well, for MMA fights, they do test us, but that's the only time that the state requires us to be tested.
But are
Even
they
then,
testing?
though, like there's not a whole lot of testing.
Yeah. So, like with the state, they're just testing for PED, right? They're not testing your hormone levels.
No, yeah, they're not testing my hormone levels.
Okay. So, and
they're just testing for bloodborne diseases and stuff. That's all I have to show them if I want to get a fight.
Yeah, but that's everyone.
Yeah, but so Ansleigh with NAGA, did they don't require anything but self-identification, right?
You don't even have to show your ID.
Well, just mark on the sheet, hey, I'm a woman.
Mark you're a female.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's what they UCI cycling does the same. It's just they're going on the word of the athlete saying, yeah, I'm a female, I've been a female, you know. And we know that's wrong, and we just need other organizations to learn this. But the trans rights activists and the LGBT, they keep wanting to go after me for numbers. Like that's one of the big arguments I've been in on that Twitter thread of your post, and they keep bringing up research papers and numbers of testosterone levels and hormone suppression and how it levels the playing field. But
there's so much more.
Yeah, there's so many more.
Like
physical.
It's not just testosterone level. Like even as me as a female, like I have a naturally high testosterone level. Like you can hear my voice. I get accused of being trans all the time.
No,
like,
don't say that.
I swear, all the time because I'm a muscular female.
Obviously, a genetic female. It's so easy to tell, but
I guess I've been for years.
I've been this way all my life, so I'm usually good at clocking sex very well. You know, I've been in this.
As soon as I saw Cordelia,
yeah, that's why I was kind of gonna give you shit about that, Ansleigh, because how did you not know until you grabbed him? I was like, that's pretty obviously a dude.
So I was coaching my whole team that day, and like I got called to my mat an hour and a half early. So like I don't have any of my gear on. I'm just rushing to put shit on because they're already on the mat. I'm not really paying attention. I'm just like, all right, get to the mat. Don't get DQ'd. So I run to the mat, and then we bumped, and then we're clinching, we're fighting. That's it. I'm like, I'm really not paying attention because I've seen them fight girls so many times. Like it's literally just not in my brain. I really just thought it was a huge woman that had, I don't want to say an ugly old lady, but that's just what I thought.
There's some big girls out there.
Okay. I mean, girl,
but you're not an ugly old lady.
Real trans people know what we know what we look like. I'm an ugly old lady too, trust me. But so
you look better than her.
Oh, thank you. But my point is that regardless of, so it sounds to me like Cordelia has not put any effort into lowering her testosterone level, which we know as athletes that doesn't matter anyway. I mean, it does. I am weaker because of my suppression and my cross-sex hormones. But it sounds like Cordelia has made, as far as I can tell, there's no effort on that person to transition other than checking the white box or the box on the
I
application.
think the only effort they've made was getting their breast augmentation.
Oh, they had boobs.
Yeah, that's why it was hard.
Okay.
Didn't
Like
try
I
to
can see them in no gi, so like they don't have the gi on anymore. So like you kind of see some boobage, and you're like, okay, maybe.
That's okay. Well, yeah, maybe they are putting in effort. I don't.
I have a bit of a problem with them going ahead and doing that, because you didn't go through it. I've gone through it. I've gone through 8 years just to get what I have. And so have a lot of other biological women. Who are you to go and just jump the gun on me? I don't know. I'm bitty titty club, and I kind of have I don't know. I'm a little angry about it.
So you're telling me the hormones that you take have given you small breasts, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's enough for me.
The itty bitty kitty committee.
I'm part of the
yes.
committee.
I just started developing breasts once I started taking my hormones. My breasts started to develop, but my problem is the reason I have breast implants is because I am still athletic and I am so lean. You have to consume a lot of,
but yeah. I just
well, you have to consume a lot of body fat in order to grow boobs. As a boy.
I've got 135 for fighting, so like putting on much is kind of out of the cards for me.
Yeah, so with my leather racing suit is custom fit to my body. I cannot put weight on. So
yeah,
they measure it and they trim it around my boobs and all that. So if my belly gets fat to make my boobs grow, my suit's not going to fit and I can't race. So that's a dumb excuse, I know, but so
I get it. I was just being half funny about it.
You're fine. So I'm super excited that you're actually taking steps. So I want people to understand, not only are you okay competing against the man at the time, but now you're taking steps to better their livelihood and allow them a chance to compete in sports that they never would have had before if this blanket ban ever becomes a real thing where all trans athletes have to perform or compete in their biological sex. So it's just really commendable that you're starting a league, or you're working on starting a league that's just going to be trans inclusive all the way out. And would that include trans men who are women taking testosterone, which is considered a PED, a performance enhancing drug? It's another argument I get into is that the women who start taking these cross-sex hormones, they're literally doping.
Yeah, exactly. And me and my dad have been making this forever, because like there's one God is I don't know how to gender this person. I'm like, it's so hard. Everyone knows I try really hard, but like it just gets confusing, you know? So it's female to male, but they're still competing with women, and you just see someone with a beard and boobs.
Yeah.
Really? That's So that beard means that they're on testosterone.
I mean, I guess it could be, but like I also think about women with PCOS who like could possibly have. So I'm like trying not to judge. Like I'm trying not to jump to assumptions.
Yeah, and there are biological women that don't take testosterone, and they still have like a little bit of chest hair, back hair, stuff like that.
Right, but normal with
just strong facial hair means testosterone. Like
it was like very stubbly.
Yeah, I've been around the community long enough. I know what that means. And my biggest, I guess, complaint about that is the female to male athletes. I don't think they're not even athletes, but any woman who's transitioning into manhood, I don't think they're getting the information they deserve. Testosterone is super hard on your body. Like my body was born to take it. Your body has a small amount, and if you overload that, bad things happen. and it's been proven, as far as hysterectomies are then required. There's no more chances of giving birth. Like, that's a touchy one for everybody involved. I think that the trans man issue is getting thrown in my face too, and they're like, well, would you let this hulk of a woman walk into the women's room, and it's a guy with a beard and muscles, and he looks more manly than I ever did when I was a boy. And I'm like, no, yeah, he's gonna scare the shit out of ladies, but you know what? The bathroom debate and the locker rooms, like, would you feel okay with a biological dude in the locker room with you? Like,
well,
or do you guys have
this is the thing,
rooms?
is like both of these athletes do that.
They just go in the changing rooms. Is it unisex or is it male female? Most where you compete.
It's split. And like I'm talking about at the competitions, like when it's in a gymnasium.
Now, I will hit on that because at the gym, we don't have that gym anymore, but we have a sauna and stuff back there in each dressing room, and I just kind of worked it out where I just got there before anybody else, and I'd get ready back there, but yeah, it is different. Like Andrew said, it's a little different when they're at the competition and going in. But still.
Oops.
Sorry, I have to strip rooms. Normally, I would just be in the laundry.
You're fine. You're fine. If this was last minute notice that you had to get called into work, so
yeah,
not your fault. Not your fault. So we all agree that women shouldn't be forced to compete with men.
Right.
Brittni, as a trans woman, is okay competing in the men's division, and also very commendable. Ansleigh is working on starting an all trans division. Do you think it would be fair to include trans men against trans women because you have one on testosterone, one that was on testosterone? Don't you think that's pretty level, or what do you think?
It's got to be separate divisions.
You think?
Yeah, because it's still, honestly, the trans women will probably still come out on top, just because like everyone brings in the testosterone level, but you're not bringing in hand size, bone density, lung capacity, muscle fiber, fast twitch muscle fibers. Like, men have 100, almost maybe 1,000 times as much as women.
Yeah, within I think it's called the CEA, the sectional crosscut. Of lean body mass. So yeah, I know what you're talking about there, and plus our ligaments have just been developed stronger. They're I was talking about this on another podcast the other day that the male body was built and designed by Mother Nature or whatever as a hunting and fighting machine. That's what the man
hard
was
labor.
Yeah, hard physical labor, hunt, get the food, and protect the family. So fight, hunt, and it's all very aggressive.
Yes.
So yeah, it's the most frustrating part. And I'm happy to know that Brittni's trans and on the same page. It feels good. And I wanted to tell you, Ansleigh, there's a lot more trans conservatives like me. And I don't even think you have to be trans and conservative to think that this isn't okay.
Right.
That seems to be the only ones I find. Like the rest of them seem to be liberal, just out of their mind.
Yeah, and like that's the issue here is like I don't even fucking follow politics at all, and I don't want this to be a political issue. I want this to be a sports issue.
Right.
But unfortunately, I have put myself in this situation.
You have
of the Wild West shootout in my comment section of the left and the right.
Yeah, you are, and I'm glad that it opens up debate. I got locked in with 3 on one thread and 2 on another thread, so 5 different people I've been in contact with, trying to change their mind, all over your thread, all over your post, and the Our Adrenaline one, So I do my best. I don't use insults. I just come at them with tell me why, tell me why, tell me why. And they just continue with the you're a Karen because of my hair. You're an old hag. And I'm a bigot.
You're a bigot, but I get no explanation.
All they can ever say is things that they think are going to hurt your feelings. They've never come at me with anything logical.
Yeah.
Like, if you can give me some good, solid, hard facts, sure.
Yeah.
That might change my mind, but if you're just going to call me a transphobe and a bigot when clearly I'm sitting here talking with you guys pretty fucking normally with no hate,
exactly.
which is insane, you know, like, it's wild. I've been, like, through this whole thing, I've been called a racist, homophobic. I got called racist for saying Joe Rogan's my spirit animal. And it wasn't even the Joe Rogan thing. They said, you can't use spirit animal. That's cultural appropriation.
Really? Wow. They go after everything, don't they?
I'm like, I do archery. I do MMA. I'm a brown belt in jiu-jitsu and I smoke weed. I'm super transparent about my life. I'm not hiding anything from the world right now. Like, there's absolutely nothing that anyone's going to bring on me in the future and be like, but she did that. No.
Good for you. That's good for you. And hopefully not. I'm just joking when I say this, but you might be in the likes of Riley with you might get your own protest someday.
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm definitely waiting on that to like come up to my gym one day and be like, "That's the worst idea in the world." Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not good. I don't want to ever advocate for violence, but you guys are in a combat sport, right? Jiu-jitsu is considered combat, and I know you've talked about wanting to go back into MMA, which is bananas to me. But you know, like,
it's fun.
I'm glad you guys like getting punched in the face. I didn't like it because I wasn't good at it.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm really good at getting punched in the face. I'm not good at blocking. So.
See, I'm not good at getting punched in the face, but I'm good at taking people down and then punching them in the face.
Yeah, there you go. Pound to pound for sure. All right, you guys. Well, we're nearing the 50-minute mark, and I know that people get tired of watching after about an hour, to be honest. But is there anything else you want to tell anybody that you can think of? As far as trans or women's awareness, like
I kind of just want to shout out Jita and Summer as well. You know, they're like Brittni. They're trans women who still fight men, and they're freaking badasses.
More, yes, that's what we want. That's what we need.
Yeah,
we need
about to be kind of on the DL. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for this, but they're supposed to be having a bare knuckle fight soon.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Those two trans women? Like they're gonna fight each other?
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what's funny? I have this is why I'm in the office right now. Usually I would do this at my desk, but I have the bare knuckle tryouts in my gym right now.
Whoa.
Oh. Yay.
Is that for the nationally sanctioned, the BFK, the bare knuckle fight?
BKFC, yeah.
BKFC, yeah.
Yeah, so we got Chris Lytle in here right now, Joe Elmore.
I remember Chris Lytle.
Yeah, he's out there right now.
From UFC. Wow, you're talking with me. Now I'm really privileged. You could be hanging out with Chris, an actual UFC star. That is so cool, you guys. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. If there's ever a weekend when you guys get free, I would like to talk to you guys some more. It would be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was looking at the chats. There's a few female former athletes on here saying congratulations. They commend you guys. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, both of you, for advocating to make things fair and be inclusive. You guys are doing way better than me. I'm not inclusive.
You're do it right.
Stay in your lane, compete with your sex, and call it a day. But at least you guys are trying. You're trying to say, hey, we can do this. We can do this trans division if you guys put the effort in and sign up for it. I think that's a great idea.
When I think a lot more people will come out of the woodwork and be like, oh, well, now here's my chance to, do what I've been dreaming about doing, but I just didn't think that I could do it until now. I'm sure that there's a lot more of us out there that just haven't had the opportunity or the motivation to go for it.
You're correct on that too. I have trans women also message me daily, like, I don't know what to do. I want to start competing. I don't know how to come about it. And I just, I give them the advice, unfortunately, of my perspective is just compete with the guys, and I don't give them the chance to maybe try and be involved. If you can find a league that's co-ed, do it.
Yeah.
If it's I'm okay with co-ed competition as long as it's known.
Right. The transparency and the choice has always been the point here.
Yeah, just as long as we know what we're getting into, we'll do it. That's Ansleigh's take, Brittni as well, and most women would say, yeah, I don't have a problem competing with the guys because it's a good challenge for me, but I want to know about it ahead of time. And if it's for money, prize money and positions and scholarships, no way, So again, I thank you guys so much for coming on. It's so cool to see you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you. And I appreciate all that you're doing. So
yeah, absolutely. I definitely want to do this again with y'all sometime. I think we could get even deeper into this.
Yeah, and if you want to bring Jaden on, we can have up to 6 people.
Yeah, we'll definitely have Jaden on next time. She actually, quick shout out to her. She just got second place at ADCC Open in Orlando. So just huge congrats to her, especially with everything going on, because I just dropped out of a tournament next week because I just have too much shit going on. I'm like, I just want to handle all this shit, and then I'll get back to training and competing. I just need a little time to process all of this.
Okay, so you're talking about the stuff you're talking about going on is because of all this issue, right?
Yeah, just like all the comments and like podcast shows. There's a lot of stuff offers.
It's very overwhelming. Yeah.
Yeah. So especially with someone with social anxiety, I'm just like, all right, just calm down. Let's figure this out. We'll compete when we can. If I don't get to compete even at the next tournament, which is like the next week after, it's fine. I still have no-gi worlds, and really I was just doing those 2 tournaments to get my ranking points up. So my main goal is no-gi worlds in December, and they will actually be in Las Vegas. So maybe we could just like link up. That would be awesome.
You better. Oh my God. Like, that's the other thing I forgot to tell you that, like, yeah, when people call Riley a transphobe or a bigot, just go to my profile page. There's a picture of me and her holding hands, like not holding hands, but I took
like
her,
hugging.
Yeah, it was for kind of her birthday dinner, but yeah, I took her to Hell's Kitchen.
So awesome.
And any restaurant.
I'm actually gonna be on her podcast like at 5:00 today.
Oh, good. That's so awesome. So yeah, you better message me. Text me when you get to Vegas. I'll take you to dinner. I know you can't eat crazy but after you compete.
I'm competing up in weight right now because I'm ranked number 5 at heavyweight right now, which is 158 to 169.
Okay.
But I'm weighing like 154, 155 right now, so I'll just compete up.
You tell me what you want to eat, and it's my treat. I promise. Like, I have connections in Las Vegas. Like
my dad seriously wants to meet you. He has so much respect for you.
Oh, thank you. I try my best. So, you better not forget about me when you get to Vegas.
I absolutely won't. We'll stay in contact throughout this.
Yeah, of course. And I do know that we have a lot of BJJ tournaments here at the Las Vegas Convention Center. I do.
Yeah, that's where it'll be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I rolled up a jiu-jitsu player. I rolled up his fingers in my window one time doing Uber, and so strong. This guy didn't even wince. The window didn't retract naturally on its own, and I was just like pulling the button, and the dude just calmly sticks his head around. He's like, "Can you roll your window down? You got my finger stuck in there." Didn't even flinch, like no wincing, nothing. So,
to be fair, it's jiu-jitsu and his hands are probably already so messed up. Like, he's probably a gi person. Like, my fingers are already screwed up. And
twisted.
I can't imagine what his are like.
That's not an ounce of pain on his face. As calm as a cucumber. Just like, hey, can you roll your window back down? My fingers are in here. And he was in a Brazilian, Portuguese accent too. I was like,
probably like a well-known black belt. That's hilarious.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu, you guys are nuts strong and very how is it? Receptive to pain, or resistant to pain.
Yeah.
That's the word. Yeah. So, all right, you guys. Well, be safe out there and stay in touch. Okay.
All right. Have a good
Sure.
one. Thank you for having us on.
All right. Thanks, Brittni.
All
Thanks, Ansleigh. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay, you guys, if you're still watching, I really appreciate it. As you saw, Ansleigh will be on Riley's podcast later today. That's Gains for Girls. And if you want to check her out and see what else Ansleigh has to say, there was so many things I didn't touch on. I had a whole list written down, stuff that I want to talk about, but I wanted this to be a natural conversation and not so much like I've seen Ansleigh on other shows, like TV shows, and it was like, where are you from? How are you doing? Like, I didn't even let them introduce themselves. Like, it's probably wrong with me, but just, I wanted to have down home, heartfelt conversation that was, meaningful and not just canned answers from them, because that's all they've been doing. I've been texting with Ansleigh and it's just canned answer after canned answer. Not that she doesn't deserve that. Those canned answers are right. Like, that's what she needs to get out there. But this was just more of an impromptu personal interview or conversation. That's what I was calling it. So, and hi, Miranda. And yes, those are all my trophies from when I used to race pro. So I have more in the back room. This is my living room. So, but I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and I really appreciate all the support for these female athletes and everybody alike. Thank you.